welcome to episode 80 of the Hollywood Knitter vidcast. My name is Allison. I am your host, and thank you for joining me for another episode of the Hollywood Knitter. I'm recording on Monday, February 19th, 2024 from my home in Los Angeles, California on a very rainy, gray day here. I'm sitting different spot than usual. I'm sitting downstairs. It was just so gray. It was so gray. There was not enough light upstairs in the bedroom. So I'm sitting in my living room in a little corner and have some artificial light going to try to get this on. But thought I would sit down today because I have some FOs, I have some whips, I have some knitting stuff. And and it's been almost 2 months, probably. It was sometime early January since my last podcast. So time to update you on what's been going on, starting with my first FO that I think started and finished it since I last saw you. And I'm going to stand up, and this is the Brooklyn Raglan by Tori Yu. It is a DK weight sweater and with pattern sleeve. Raglan. Oh, there we go. Sitting not too close. And this was a fast knit. I cast it on January 4th, finished it February 3rd. The yarn is Zombie Yarns Monster in Tricky Spray. It's 100% superwash DK. And I used about 870 yards, a little less than 4 skeins. And yeah, I really like it. The only thing, and this is probably still me more than anything else, is I have a little bit of this like right here. And I think that's just more me, again, I need to probably make a little modification so I'm a little shorter here and then still have the sleeve because the sleeve is perfect. But anyways, I think it's just, I think my type of sweater construction or wear or ease or whatever right now is changing a little bit. So when I was a little heavier, I wanted things a little looser, and now I don't. And so I'm still trying to figure out the right size to make, but overall, just super pleased. This is one of my Make 9s. So this was wanting to get some stash. My Make 9s for 2024. So this was the existing stash. I picked up this yarn for $5 a skein at Stitches West a few years ago when she was ending her business, yarn business, and she was having a fire sale on her yarns. So I have quite a few yarns from that sale. And this was one of them. So yeah, this is totally me. It's a cream. And it's got specks of orange, like a neon green, like a darker green, almost like a neon yellow. So yeah, really liking it. I made it mostly to pattern. I did the mods. I did change a little bit of it had kind of a split hem on the bottom, and it was too long for me. So I actually ripped it back and made it less of a split hem. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, I kind of just did it to pattern. And let my speckles fly where they were. I didn't alternate yarns, and so my speckles ended up being what my speckles were. And I have a little bit right here, right below where the camera is, of like yellow speckles, the neon yellow, and it is what it is. But yeah, so my, I think this is my first FO of this year. Well, besides socks in it. And I'm happy with it. Like, it's not bad to start off with a sweater. The neck is a little wide, but yeah. So that is the Brooklyn Raglan by That is the Brooklyn Raglan by Tori Yu. And I recommend it. It's one that's out there. She has some great patterns out there. I know some other people have made some of her patterns, and so I chose this one. And DK, yeah, just super pleased with it. The other thing I finished, which I've been working on forever, is my Moonflower shawl. So this is the Moonflower shawl by Ambo O'Brien. It's a mosaic knitting. Look at that awesomeness. And my yarns are Marigold Jen 80/20 in the deep end. That's the rich green. And then the Fishnet Strong Heart and California Wildflowers is the white. It's actually kind of like a really cool light blue with speckles based on wildflowers. It was the Northern California Knitting Retreat yarn a few years ago. 2017 maybe? So this was actually on my Make 9 2023 to try to get some of this stash, which is pretty old, out of my stash. Yeah, see, that sweater's just gonna keep riding up. It's my first time wearing it, so I'm not sure. I don't like things on my neck, so it's kind of, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Anyways, so yep, it's ended up being really long. When I blocked it, it made it longer. So it's actually probably 80 inches. It wasn't that. I did go a little bit longer. I made it another, I don't know, half a repeat so that I could use all of the green up. And I was like, yeah, who cares if it's a little longer? So yeah, I think this is gonna be a gift, or go into my gift box. I will find a home for it later. But yeah, so very pleased. Mosaic knitting is beautiful. It is a little time consuming, especially in fingering. But you know, the pattern was relatively easy. The rows were relatively easy. You kind of memorize most of it, you follow a lot of charts, but it's not that hard to kind of, once you know what the motifs are, to see where you're at in case you make a mistake. So yeah, so I used all of the green, full skein. I think for the flowers, the contrast color, it was like 3/4 of the skein. So Moonflower Shawl. I am having issues talking today. The Moonflower Shawl by Amba O'Brien. And I recommend. You have any kind of cool 2 skeins of fingering weight and you want to do mosaic. And obviously mosaic is very in. This is the same kind of technique that Pressed Flowers does, you know. So I just like this one better. I don't know why I chose this one over Pressed Flowers, but I like this one. So that's what I did. And then my last FO is pair of socks. This is the Craggy Shore by the Blue Mouse. And this is a knit along for the Virginia Beach yarn getaway, which I'm going to in a few days. Very exciting. And the yarn is from my friend Queen City Yarns, her Note a Sock, and So Much Drama. And I really love the subtleness of this. And it's kind of just like a mock rib, kind of goes up. There you go, I kind of see it. So yeah, and these are for me. So made them for me. I used about a little over half a skein, which is what I do when I'm doing socks for me, since I don't make them especially tall. Actually, I'll leave them on the sock blockers for now. So yeah, basic. They were my purse knitting for a while, and it took me, gosh, well, these ones took a little over a month to finish. And that's all my FOs. But I have 4 whips. We will start with the one that I cast on, I think, first. And this is another Make 9, because I'm committed after last year not doing so well to trying to do that. And Make 9 is my projects I designate in my queue at the beginning of the year with stash yarn, to try to, especially trying to focus on older stash yarn. And this is actually the Color Matic Cowl by Michelle Hunter, and it's done in Caron Simply Soft. I have 4 skeins of Caron Simply Soft. I don't remember when I picked these up or why I picked them up, but I picked this orange and green, and then I also have a black and white. And so you go around in the cowl, which is done in the round, will be super warm, has this motif, and then it goes into a chevron. And so I'm almost done with this section, and then I will drop probably the orange, and then the next section is like green and white, and then I'll drop the green, and the next section is white and black, and then I'll drop the white, and then the last section black and orange. So it kind of follows around, and yeah. You could do short cowl, long cowl. I'm doing long cowl to try to use most of the yarn. This will probably be a gift for my sister, who is allergic to all yarns except acrylics. And it will be super warm because it is worsted weight, you know, basically double, and with kind of some slip stitches in there. But looks very Halloween right now because it's just the orange and the green. But I think when I bring in the black and the white and that chevron, it will be cool. So yeah, so I cast that on, I don't know, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And it's sitting next to my little area in the living room to try to knit on. I'm actually gonna probably knit on it a little later. And that is the Colormatic Cowl. I'll show it to you, hopefully having it done in a while. It goes fast when I focus on it because it's worsted weight. But yeah, but I have other things I was working on. Other thing I cast on for my purse knitting. This was originally going to be the double thick hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. And then I got the Musselburgh hat. And basically what they both have in common is it's a double thick hat. The free pattern you cast on in the middle and work your way out. It's like a original cast on. And then the Musselburgh, obviously a lot of people have done it from the top and then you go all the way down and then do creases. And I kind of used both-ish and did a hybrid. So this is inspired by both patterns. I ended up wanting to do from the top, but I didn't like the top of the Musselburgh with the 4 repeats. It looks very pokey to me, and I've never done the original pattern as written, but I kind of just used it as a kind of jumping off point. And what I did instead is I made mine 5 sections. So I have like a starburst on top, and this is leftover Canon, I think. No, White Birch Fiber Arts, Orange is the New Black. I did a pair of socks in these and I love this. So I'm gonna do this until it's done, which I don't have too much more. And then I have this gray I'm gonna do, and then I have another color if I need it for the other, like the inside. But I think if I have enough, I might just make, this will have gray in the bottom and then the other one will just be gray. So yeah, so that's my purse knitting right now. I've finished all the increases. I kind of winged it, didn't exactly follow the increase pattern. I think in her pattern, she has like, you increase and then you do 1 rest row. And so I did that, but then I spaced them out more because I didn't want a pointy look. So I wanted it more gradual. We'll see if it works. It's kind of hard to tell on the needles, and you know, it is what it is. I'm making it no matter what. So this will be travel/purse project for a little while. Then I cast on another garment, and this is the Salty Air Tee by Samantha Guerin. A lot of people have done this pattern, and she is the guest speaker at Zombie and Apocalypse, the knitting retreat I go to in Minnesota. And so I wanted to cast on and have, like, you know, something to wear. I like to have something to wear from the designer, but not always. Anyways, cast this on here. It is just a simple tee, top down. It's got a lace, which I'm a little bit into the lace. So it's got lace right here, and then you can do a tee, and then it's stockinette body. And I'm doing another Zombie Yarns. This one is Gutsy. So 51% cotton, 49% bamboo. It's a fingering. I have 4 skeins of it. I really only need 2 probably if I do a tee. I might do longer sleeves. I'm going to do the body and then decide if I want to do long sleeves or short sleeves, make it a tee or something longer. I like the idea of potentially just having like a light layer to be able to pull on. So I might go with that. But as I said, I am through all of the short rows and stuff in the neck, and I am working on the lace. And my idea is, what I'm hoping is I'll get through the lace section in the next few days and then be in the stockinette. So that will be good retreat knitting because I'm going to retreat shortly. And then the last thing I cast on, which is probably one more project than I really need, but I wanted to bring it traveling and I wanted to have it cast on. This is all I've had done. I'm going to try to finish the brim, but it's an alpine bloom hat. And so the yarn is Queen City Latta in the tar, which is just a basic gray. And then I have a spin cycle, and it's one I picked up forever. So this is another make 9 because I'm trying to get this out. And so this will be the flower, this will be the background, and it's going to be an alpine bloom hat. So my goal is to get through the brim probably today, tomorrow, so that I can switch needles and not have to bring the different needles. Yeah. So those are all my FOs. Look at me making my 9, making it a focus, which is good. So that is all of my knitting so far. I'm talking kind of fast today, but that's okay. What's been happening in my life? Theater. So I have season tickets to the local theater that does Broadway shows, and we just for Valentine's Day saw The Wiz, which was, I think I had seen parts of The Wiz, the movie, which is based on a musical. And the movie is from the 70s, and I remember it has late 70s, and Michael Jackson's in it, and some other people. But it has a few, like, ease on down the road, which ease on down the road. So came from that musical. And yeah, so it was fun. I enjoy a musical. I do. So it was fun. I do not like going out on Valentine's Day. Let's go with that. I haven't done it in years and years and years. We ended up have reservations for a place that's like right next door that we eaten at before. And then like they changed it to a fixed price menu like the day before they let us know. And it was like, okay, so now it's a fixed price menu, 4 courses, $100 each. And, but it's, it's the theater, and it's hard to get reservations on Valentine's Day. And so I just kept it, and the food was good, but it was just too much. Like, I don't eat 4 courses anymore. I was very, very full. And then the musical was fun. It's on its way to Broadway. So this is kind of like it's pre-Broadway. I think it's gone to a few different ones. Definitely could see a few tweaks they could still make. But it's enjoyable. And, yeah. So, and if you haven't seen The Wiz, the thing with The Wiz is based on The Wizard of Oz, and it is an all, African-American, or I don't even know if they're all American, Black actor cast. So that is really fun to see. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. What should we talk? I'm going to talk about acquisitions because I have some. Allison, you haven't been anywhere. How can you have acquisitions? One is an acquisition I forgot to show you last time. And so I wanted to bring it out. And this is from my friend Janice at Queen City. She made me a sock blank. And this is her DK sock blank. She did this as a special thing, I think for the anniversary of her shop, where she was doing like custom ones. And so she did one for me. And it's called Cold New England Beach, which I love. It's so pretty. I don't want to open it, but yeah, it's just the colors. I just told her to surprise me. And she did this as a gift. It was beautiful. And I opened it on Christmas. It was my only Yarny gift on Christmas. But I did want to show it because it is beautiful. And then the other thing is a bag that my mom made me because she sews. So she did this cool little bag that I can button this way, or I can hang it on my wrist and use it while knitting and make it more like a bento bag and have it like perfect. So yeah, very cool. I wanted to shout out to my mom because I love her and she makes me cool stuff. So yeah, I might bring this to make, if I had somewhere to walk around and knit, which I don't really as much anymore. Then the other thing, so past few years, I backed various campaigns on Kickstarter. And if you have never checked out Kickstarter, Kickstarter is where people can put an idea out there and raise money for it to make it a reality. It has exploded in the last quite a few years. And so there is a lot of scams and stuff on there, like people who do it or people who get overwhelmed. They get really popular, they get a lot of money, and then you never get the item that you backed. And that is just part of it. I think in my, gosh, I probably backed 20 to 25 campaigns over the years, and I think I've only not gotten one. Some have taken a heck of a long time, but eventually I get them. And one of the ones I've backed continuously, because he's done it every few years, is a gentleman who is an American, but he lives in Mongolia, and he does yarn. And his yarn line is Ula and Leah, and every year it's gotten nicer and nicer. And so he basically goes and sources the actual raw materials, brings them to the mill, does the colors, and then gets it spun into yarn all in Mongolia, and then ships it back to the US, and then sends it out based on your Kickstarter. And I've backed it multiple times. I have a sweater out of it. I have quite a few in my stash. And so I backed it again. Now I typically back his 4 skeins, and I have been collecting these kind of skeins for a while. And one day I'll have a project to do with them. But it's kind of these 4 skeins. And these are all cashmere. So these are all 100% cashmere in different colors. I'm trying to do, these two are fingering this year. So I have a gray, and then this is a marled. So it's a teal and a navy. And 100% cashmere fingering. And then I got these two, which is a marled cream, like a cream and a white, and then a yellow. And as I said, I've been collecting kind of these two weights and various, he does different colors every year, Kickstarter, Backstarter, whatever. And so I have various colors of these, and I will do a project with them one day. I haven't, I'm not there yet, and I don't know what I'm gonna make with them, but it will be cashmere, and it will be beautiful, and it will be so many cool colors. So these are the ones I picked up this year. Now you back these, I probably backed these last July. So it takes a long time. So you back it, and then he gets out the funds, and then based on that, then he goes through the process of buying the raw materials and things like that, and then spinning it, and it's a process. So it's another one of those things like delayed gratification of it. This year, I also got a sweater quantity, which I haven't done before, and probably got too much, but this is the Ula and Leah Olive DK 85% sheep wool, 15% cashmere. So he did a cashmere wool blend, and I have like 7 of these. Way more than I needed to do a sweater. But I just wanted to have enough. And so I actually think I'm going to do a colorwork sweater. It's kind of funny. It will be on my list for a few years because it's new yarn and I won't get to it. But I put into my queue the Alley sweater by Explorer Knits, which has got kind of a block motif, and then the rest of it's solid, and it's a DK weight sweater. And I'm actually thinking my leftovers from this that I'm wearing right now will be the contrast, and then the olive from here. So that's what's in my queue right now. We'll see if it stays there. This will probably not, you know, be ready to see the light for 2 or 3 years, but I have a sweater quantity. So yeah, so I'm excited. I've got enough yarn, which might mean I don't do so much shopping when I go travels shortly. What else? So in life, work has been kicking my butt. It's been very stressful. My project is coming to an end. We're coming to some very critical functional testing and acceptance testing, and making sure that everything we've worked, you know, the last 3 years to build actually works, because it has to as a treatment facility. And so, yeah, I have been definitely a little stressed, or a lot stressed. But the end is in sight. We successfully got through it for one of my job sites last Friday. And then my other job site should be ready to do it in the main body of testing in 6 weeks or so. So yeah, I'm getting there. And I'm ready to have a little of a slower time. This has been a very challenging, very busy project for me, and yeah, I'm looking for a little bit of a slow time to catch up on stuff. I feel like I'm just constantly behind, because I am constantly behind, and at some point everything new coming in will slow down enough that I can get through my backlog of just like paperwork and things like that and come out the other side. But contractually, we're supposed to be done with the project by September. Majority of it will probably be done by, I would say, June-ish. And books, I've been reading. So since I last podcast, I have read 15 books, or listened to, and that brings me up to 16 for the year. And I have had a few mystery crimes. So one of the ones that I listened to that I want to talk about is Richard Osman, Thursday Murder Club. I'm not sure where I saw this one, but I'm into like procedural kind of crime ones. And this one is really cute. I listened to the audiobook, and it's a British author, and it is about senior citizens living in a adult community, senior citizen community, and they have a club, the Thursday Murder Club, because they're all very interested in murder, and it's 4 of them. And then it's an actual murder happening, and then going about it. And it's very British. It's very fun. It was a fun listen to. I loved the reading of it, and I forget the English actress's name. I had just seen her, I just seen her in Magpie Murders on Leslie Manville, maybe? I think that might have been who it is, was the narrator. And it was just fun. And I guess there's 4. So I have like the next one is on hold, in my holds. And so I should get it in a few weeks. So that was a lot of fun. And then the other one, I highly love the series. It's Sherry Thomas, the Lady Sherlock series. And this is another one. And it is basically what if Sherlock Holmes had actually been a woman, and what had happened. And this is the 7th book in the series. And so it's the same characters coming in. And then this book took entirely, the whole book was on a boat. They were crossing from the UK to Egypt or Morocco, somewhere around there. And there was a murder on board, and of course you can't get to the authorities, and intrigues and this and that, and it's just really well done. And I also listened to that one, so that was an audiobook. So if you like kind of mysteries like that, I highly recommend the Lady Sherlock series by Sherry Thomas. Then I read some other kind of fantasies, keeping up. I'm still on the 7th book in the Kevin Hearn Chronicles, The Iron Druid, still enjoying that. I read a new Rick Riordan novel. I have read all the Rick Riordan novels, even though they are young adults. I don't put my nose up a young adult, and I love mythology. I love various mythologies of different cultures and things like that. So I've really, really enjoyed his books, all the Percy Jackson series, and etc. So I picked up one that I hadn't read, and that was Daughters of the Deep, and it was based on Captain Nemo and that kind of thing. It was really fun. And then just some of my supernaturally romancy kind. I'm reading October Day series by Seanan McGuire. I read actually 13 and 14 book. October Day is a changeling. She is half fae, half human, and it's kind of, all the books are following her and her family, and going through all these different adventures / trials / etc. So I really enjoy that. And what else? Robert Peterman, You Light Up My Midlife Crisis. I listened to it as an audiobook, and it is just pure fun, weird, campy. I like to listen to it when I exercise, when I walk. I'm on book 6 for that. And again, that's another one I do on audio. Yeah, and so I'm gonna continue. I have so many of my series like this that I throw some new ones in here and there, but just even getting through all the series I like to read. I think I read, I have some more that are coming up, like the Alex Cross series I saw has one out that I haven't read yet, and some other authors that are, come out with a book every year or so are coming out that I follow. TV, if you have Disney Plus, I do recommend the Percy Jackson series that they just came out. I really enjoyed it. I thought the young adult actors were very good in it. I thought it was a good adaptation of the book, and I enjoyed watching it. Again, the mythology of it, I'm hoping it gets picked up. I think it probably will for another season for the next book. And I just like those kind of young adult adventure series. I think it was really cool. Also watching True Detective. I haven't seen the last episode. It is ready for us to watch. It came out yesterday, and we just didn't have time yesterday. We had some family crisis, so unfortunately we didn't get to watch it. My boyfriend and I were into it, so I can't wait. But I have enjoyed the 5 episodes to now. Now, I watched the first season of True Detective. We tried watching the second season and didn't really finish it. Didn't get into it as much. Didn't watch the third one. And so this is the 4th one. It's with Jodie Foster, and an actress who's a former boxer who actually grew up in my part of town. She actually in Rhode Island, right where my family lives right now. That's where she grew up. And it's good. It's got those supernatural elements. I love the fact that it takes place like in Alaska in the dark time. It's actually filmed in Iceland, and it's just spooky, and they're fighting themselves, they're fighting the elements, the characters. Jodie Foster is an unlikable wench. Yet, there's like little, why is she the way she is and things like that. And then, yeah, it's I can't wait to see what happens for the finale. It's only 6 episodes. The other thing that's interesting about it is the main show director, what is it? Anyways, she is a Mexican producer director, and I think she's doing a great job. It's really well done. Then I'm just watching my procedurals. I'm catching up with some of the Christmas shows. So like the Vera Christmas episode, restarted the next season of Father Brown that I got into. and Death in Paradise. Shetland I'm still catching up on. I'm almost up to the latest season, almost. So yeah, that's kind of my fill-in stuff. I think that's kind of all I got for just like random things that have been going. As I said, it's pretty much been knitting. I've been walking and work, and yeah, travel. Haven't traveled since late November, but I am traveling on Thursday, and I'm very excited. I'm going to the Virginia Beach getaway, hosted by my friend Martha Knitcrit. I've gone like every other year. It used to conflict with Stitches West, which is no more. So there's no more conflict with that. And so I would usually bounce between the two. But there's no more conflict. So I will be heading out there, flying out on Thursday, coming back on Monday. It's held in Virginia Beach and on the beach, which is fun. And it's off season since it's winter, and it's a good time. So looking forward to that. And then other travels on the agenda. WonderCon Anaheim, which is something my boyfriend and I do. It's a comic book convention in Anaheim that we enjoy going down there for the weekend. The Northern California Knitting Retreat hosted by my friend, the Two Knit Chicks. That is in late April up north. And then Zombie and Apocalypse in Rochester. I had to think about it for a second. In June. Then I have we finalized my college girlfriend's trip. We are going to go to Vancouver, Canada this year. We're going international. And so that's going to be the last week in July. I'm really excited about that. I've never been to Vancouver, so this will be fun. And then, of course, the big trip, international trip for me this year is Morocco. That's going to be the first 2 weeks of October. Then I think I'm going to try to squeeze in Rhinebeck. That's still a maybe. It's a long time I would be going off. I do Rhinebeck and Morocco and everything, like I'm almost off like 3.5 weeks. So we'll see, but it's still tentative. I want to go. I want to go with friends, but we'll see. And then, yeah, and then I still got to throw like some family trip in there and some other stuff. So I'm excited. Travel always makes me excited. That's why I was casting on my knitting project so that I'm going to bring the Salty Air Tee. I'm going to bring the Alpine Bloom hat. I'm going to bring the Musselburgh-ish hat as well. And so that should be hopefully retreat knitting. And that'll last me for a few days. And now I'm going to pack. I'm doing laundry. I'm going to pack it today because I have 2 very full days at work. And then I fly out first thing on Thursday morning. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I hope everyone is having a wonderful February. I know a lot of people have been getting snow. I've seen lots of snow pictures. So winter is in force. This is our winter. This is rain, which we need. So I ain't gonna complain about some rain. And it's a holiday, so I'm off from work today. So it's the perfect day for it to be raining. I think it's gonna rain tomorrow too, which is not as ideal. But today, where I don't have anywhere to go, it is wonderful. And I think that's all I got. So if you're looking for me, you can find me as Allison1031. I never Instagram, but I follow people on Instagram. And then you can find me as Allison1031 on Ravelry too. I do put all my projects and my notes and things in Ravelry. And yeah, happy February, everyone. It is almost, it's almost spring. Can you believe it? This year is flying by, flying. Anyways, that's a wrap from Holiday, where fantasy meets fiber and dreams are knit. Bye, everybody. Here's a little add-in. I just realized that I had my sweater on backwards. Look how the neck doesn't right up when you wear it right. I still have this a little bit though. But yeah, that would explain my neck issue. The short rows that make it higher in the back. Duh. It's still good.